In this section, I'm going to dynamically advertise the RP. And RP is going to be router 1 again. Why would we go for dynamic RP advertisement? That's because we may have a large network. We cannot go to every router and configure it statically for an RP. Or we can have multiple RPs. This is a good way to advertise different groups using multiple RPs. Or the third reason may be scalability and changing of RP. If I change my RP from, for example, router 1 to, for example, switch 2, I cannot go to every router and configure them statically again. I want it to be dynamically advertised. And for advertising, I have an announcement using rendezvous points. And this announcement will go to a mapping agent. A mapping agent will inform every other router in the network that what our RPs are. But before doing anything, what I'm going to ask you is to click on that subscribe button. Also, there is a bell button there. If you click on that and activate that, anytime that I post a new video, you are going to receive it as soon as possible. Give me a thumbs up too. That's going to encourage me to create more of these kind of videos for you. So I can have mapping agent on the same router. I can have it on another router. Here, because I'm going to have simplicity, I'm going to have it on router 1 as well, because my network is small and I don't want any other router to be mapping agent. I am going to have mapping agent on the rendezvous point, and I'm going to show you. I have removed the static RP assignment on every router, so I'm going to router 1, and on router 1 I need 2 commands, and that's going to be IP pim, and after that you can see that if I'm going to use auto RP, that means the Cisco proprietary protocol, I need send RP announce and send RP discovery. The send RP announce tells me that this is a rendezvous point, and the send RP discovery is going to be mapping agent. And as I told you, I'm going to have both of these roles on router 1. And if I'm going to have standard that is, recognized between different vendors, I will go and use RP candidate to make this router an RP, and of course BSR candidate to create a mapping agent. Both of these are going to be standard. So first of all, let's go for Cisco proprietary assignments, and I'm going to have send RP announce, and using this command, I'm telling that router 1's loopback 0 is going to send the RP advertisement, and the scope is going to be, for example, 16. And the scope is something like TTL. My network is not big, so the furthest router is about 3 hops away. That will be okay to have 3 or 4, but 16 is safe playing here. So I have created this. I'm not going to have group assignments. I'm assuming that router 1 is advertising every group in my network. So the second thing is I need to have a mapping agent. So I have IPPIM send RP discovery messages, and this will go on 224.0.1.39. This is the group address that is sending the RP discoveries to every router in my network. Again, I need to assign loopback 0, and scope is going to be 16 as well. So I hit enter. Now I have 2 roles on router 1, and let me check the result. Show IP PIM RP mappings. It will take some time to have complete result, but you can see that this system is an RP, and of course this system is an RP mapping agent. If I wait for some time, I can see that this system is an RP for 224.0.0/4. That means every multicast group is included here. The RP that is advertised is 110.1.1.1. Again, I don't have a DNS entry here. This RP is supporting version 2 and version 1. And who is the mapping agent? Info source tells me that mapping agent is router 1 again. And how the mapping agent selected router 1 as the RP? That's via auto RP. So auto RP is the Cisco proprietary protocol. And you can see that this is up for 3 seconds and expires in 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Again, it will change. And now I have group to RP assignments. And remember, something very important. Show IP PIM interfaces. I have configured every interface as sparse mode. So I'm going to show you some tweaks here. Let's go to router 2 and check the command. Show IP PIM RP mapping. You can see that I have received it dynamically. If I go to router 3, IP PIM RP mapping, I don't receive anything. And that's because I am multiple hops away from router 1. And if I go to, for example, switch 2, and switch to, I expect to receive this. Show IP PIM RP mapping. You can see that switch 2 again received this. That's because only switch 2 is one hop away from router 1 that's actually neighboring to router 1, but router 3 is not. So if I go to router 3 and check this again, you can see that I am not receiving anything. So one way to correct this problem is to change interfaces to sparse dense mode. And when you change interfaces to sparse dense mode, you tell that just two groups, 224.01.40 and 224.01.39, are going to be sent to every interface that is PIM enabled, and it will act as if this is working in dense mode. Any other group is going to act as is it is in sparse mode. So if I change the interfaces to sparse dense mode, that's one way to correct the problem. The other way to correct the problem is change around router 3 as auto RB listener. If I go to router 3, and again I'm going to check in to make sure that I'm not receiving anything, I can go and have IP PIM auto RP listener command on this, and this will tell me that I'm listening to every RP advertisement that I can receive. So by having this command, I should see that after a moment I am receiving RP announcement. And this will take a little while, and if it is not working, I will change every router to be auto RP listener, but I guess I need to do that. So wait for some seconds. So let's add this command to every other router. Router 2 is going to be IP PIM auto RP listener, and switch 2 is going to be auto RP listener, and router 3, and of course backbone 1 is going to be an auto RP listener. So if I go to router 3 and check this again, of course I need to wait for some moments. Now I'm receiving the RP announcement. You can see that everything is working just fine, just with one line of command, and that's IP PIM auto RP listener. Of course, as I told you, you can use IP PIM sparse dense mode on interfaces, and that would resolve the problem. If I go to backbone 1 and try to see RP mapping, you can see that now backbone 1 is receiving everything because auto RP listener is relaying the messages to backbone 1. Now I'm trying to ping again. 225, 25, 25, 25. And the ping is successful and everything is working just fine. Now the other way is to use standard bodies. So I'm going to remove this IP PIM auto RP listener on every router. Router 3, and router 2, and of course on switch 2. And the next thing I want to do is to change RP assignments and use standard bodies. So show run include RP. I have two commands that I need to remove, and no IP PIM send RP announce and no IP PIM send RP discovery are the commands that I need to have on these routers. Now the next command that I want to use is to use RP candidate. So IP PIM RP candidate is the command that makes this router an RP, and of course it is using a standard. So again, I need to have an interface, and after that I can have a hash value, interval, priority, group list, and things like that. I'm not going to use any of them, so this is just sending candidate, sending the announcement to a BSR router. And again, as I told you, this is going to be a mapping agent, so I'm going to have IP PIM BSR candidate again on this, and BSR candidate again tells me to select the interface that I'm going to announce using that interface's IP address. And again, hash value is here that you can have. I'm not going to have any hash value, so I have these commands enabled on my router 1. So let's check the result on router 1 first, IP PIM RP mappings. And this tells me again, and now it is, I should wait for some seconds to change it. You can see that the first part is refreshed, but the second part is not refreshed. The second part still tells me that I'm using auto RP. Of course, the first part tells me that I am a candidate RP version 2, and I'm a bootstrap router version 2 as well. So after a moment, I should see that that's it. I can see that this is an RP. The RP address is 110.111, and it is sending every group in multicast addresses. You can see that the sender of this information is the BSR router is 110.111, and it is elected via auto RP. This should change in a minute. it is selected via Bootstrap. This is the actual result that I'm waiting for. The priority is 0, the hold time is 150, and I need to refresh it again. Now you can see that everything is just fine. Let's go to router 2 and select the see the answer. We show IP PIM RP mapping, and I need to wait for some time to receive the advertisements on router 2. That's it. I can see that I am receiving this via Bootstrap, and you can see that auto RP is not here. And I should see the same result on router 1. So auto RP should be removed. You can see that auto RP is removed from here. Let's go to router 3 and show RPPM RP mapping. That's it. On router 3, I didn't need any auto RP listener or sparse dense mode or anything else. So on backbone 1, I am receiving RP mappings, and I can be able to ping. You can see that this is working just fine. So I have selected two different types of dynamic advertisement. One is Cisco proprietary, the other one is standard body. And in the next section, I want to continue and add group lists to my PIM configuration. And of course, after that, I'm going to talk about source-specific multicast.